Tonight on KVR News,
Texas rains hit Houston the hardest.
See the new way UT is enforcing its tobacco-free policy.
And UT students petition to save their community gardens.
You're watching KVR News, your leader for live, local UT coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening and welcome back to KVR News. Today is Monday, April 8th. I'm Viviana Castaneda.
And I'm Ashley Tsao. Thank you for joining us.
The rain in Austin has put the area in a flash flood until 10 p.m. on Tuesday. The possibility of flooding forced some schools to have a little late start early this Monday morning, and we are still expected to see some more rain throughout the week.
The weather has affected cities all around Texas. Our Romina is in the Weather Center to tell us more about the flooding in Houston that has caused 5 deaths.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has declared a state of emergency today after 5 people were killed in the floods this weekend. The number of people killed is expected to rise as first responders assess the situation. More than 70 subdivisions and more than 100,000 customers have lost power over in the Houston metro area. Houston is expecting more rain and flooding throughout the week. I have more details on the rain in Austin later in the weathercast.
Thanks, Romina. Also, details for the funeral of UT student Haruka Weiser were released today. The first-year theater and dance major will be buried in Beaverton, Oregon this Saturday. The service will be open to the public. Weiser was found dead on UT's campus on April 5th, only 2 days after she was reported missing. 17-year-old McKeel Kreiner has been charged with murdering Weiser. His bail has been set at $1 million.
And yesterday, hundreds of students attended a vigil for Haruka at the magnet school she attended. Anyone can show support to the Weiser family by donating to the Haruka Weiser Memorial Fund. The family will determine how best to use these gifts at a more appropriate time. Condolence messages to the Weiser family can be sent to honoringharuka@gmail.com.
The death toll from yesterday's earthquake in Ecuador has risen to 246, with nearly 3,000 people reported injured. The massive earthquake came in at a whopping 7.8 magnitude on the Richter scale. This sent damage rippling throughout the country. The coastal region, Manabí province, was hit the hardest, as well as tourist destination Pedernales. Also across the Pacific Ocean, 6.2 magnitude earthquake hit Japan on Thursday, followed by a 7.0 magnitude quake on Saturday. The earthquakes have left 44 dead and over 1,000 people injured. This is the worst humanitarian disaster since the Fukushima nuclear reactor meltdown in 2011.
Brazil's lower parliament has voted to begin the impeachment proceedings of President Dilma Rousseff. She is accused of manipulating government accounts. 367 members of parliament voted to start impeachment proceedings, well above the 2/3 majority needed. Rousseff supporters the Senate will vote on whether or not to put the senators vote to impeach her. Rousseff will be removed from office permanently.
The street leading up to Prairie View A&M is officially renamed Sandra Bland Parkway. The street sign was changed last Friday during a ceremony with about 100 activists, students, and members of Bland's family. The street was originally named University Drive, and last summer, Bland's death in the Waller County Jail contributed to the national debate about how minorities were being treated by law enforcement. The trooper who arrested her has been fired and is charged with misdemeanor perjury.
Texas prison officials are enforcing a new law established by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. The law prohibits inmates from having social media accounts managed by family members or friends. The spokesperson for the department, Jason Clark, said Thursday that the decision was made because many social media companies do not allow others to manage social media accounts that are not in their own name. But companies require corrections agencies to have a specific rule about their profiles. Clark said accounts managed by others also have the potential to be dangerous. Some prisoners have used social media to sell items that were used in their crime, harass victims and their families, and even continue criminal activity. Despite a decrease in adult smoking rates, cigarette smoking remains the leading cause of preventable death and disease in the United States. UT became a tobacco-free campus in 2012, joining a growing number of universities across the nation. I went out to see how UT is enforcing this policy in 2016.
UT is moving towards more creative ways to stop tobacco use on campus. The newest method, a tobacco-free campus golf cart. It makes patrolling campus for non-compliant smokers much faster. But more importantly, it is a mobile advertisement for a tobacco-free UT.
I actually had an experience last week where I actually did not have to get out of my vehicle to approach the people smoking. They saw me pull up and immediately put out their smoking things and left the area.
Since 2012, there's been less smoking on campus overall, but a higher frequency of smoking in certain hotspot areas, like right here in front of the Perry Castaneda Library.
Tobacco users can be asked to stop smoking and leave the area, or they can be reported through UT's online anonymous reporting tool. If the same smokers reported repeatedly, they're referred to their supervisors for further discipline. Some students say this method of enforcement still isn't enough.
If there was maybe a fine for people, I think that would probably be the biggest deterrent. No one likes to pay money.
Others, like Adam Vargas, believe there should be designated smoking areas on campus. He declined to show his face on camera.
It helps restrict people and make sure there is areas where people are not around tobacco if they don't want to be.
Right now, neither a fine nor designated smoking areas are in the works. Instead, the university is focused on educating the community about the risks of using tobacco.
Where your rights end, where my nose begins.
Smokers who are trying to quit can see University Health Services and the Counseling and Mental Health Center for free tobacco cessation resources. Ashley Tsao, KVR News.
Cilantro Barbecue will be the first restaurant in Austin to go cashless. Owner Jay Kim said security is a major part of the decision because food trucks will no longer be a target for theft. Kim says that 85% of their customers already pay with card and hopes that the cashless transition will be easy. Customers say they expect more restaurants to go cashless as well.
So I don't expect to pay cash anymore. It's kind of an inconvenience, to be honest. A lot of times I'm traveling for work and I'm on expense. I need to have a receipt.
I never carry cash with me. I always pay in card, and they use Square. A lot of other businesses use Square, so I always get the receipt emailed to me afterward.
Helps out a lot of people that need a quick transaction and don't carry around a lot of cash.
Coming up next, UT is phasing out old buses. Find out how students are reacting.
And see how shifting populations are causing overcrowding in Austin schools.
Stay tuned for more KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Earth Day is this Friday, and true to its environmentally friendly form, the UT campus is celebrating Mother Nature. A week of festivals and fundraisers begin tomorrow in Gregory Plaza. Students can browse different booths raising awareness for issues like water conservation. On Friday, students can attend a carnival held in the same area. And UT's Concho Community Garden and Micro Farm have been a part of the Longhorn community for 5 years, but the green spaces are now at risk of being demolished. Our Sierra Juarez tells us about how some students are fighting to keep the gardens alive.
UT administrators are beginning to implement their 2015 East Campus Plan, which will include the construction of new graduate housing. The location for these new graduate student housing buildings will potentially be in the area that the UT Micro Farm and the Concho Community Gardens are located. Students looking to preserve these gardens have begun a campaign called Students Empowered by Food.
There's so much interest and love in what we do, and we just want to keep continuing that.
We need spaces that help us foster all of the really important, intangible things.
They have created a petition on their Facebook page which has more than 1,500 signatures. The petition is calling for an incorporation of the gardens into the new facility or a fully funded relocation. The petition is also calling for the establishment of a protocol between student project leaders and university administrators when student projects are directly implicated in developments.
It's a great place. I'm going to be really, really sad if we lose it.
Many of the campaigning students believe that one of their co-directors was wrongfully fired due to her support and activity in the campaign.
In my opinion, this was a case of discrimination, and I am seeking to clarify legally whether or not I actually did violate policy.
Administration is aware of the implications of choosing to build the graduate housing in those areas, and they are fully willing to recompensate the students for moving locations.
It's a tough issue where the university both is kind of the good guy and the bad guy. It's just a hard spot to be in, but we're going to keep gardening and farming as an activity.
Sierra Juarez, KVR News.
New shuttles are arriving on the 40 acres. We went out to see how the upgraded campus shuttles are causing mixed feelings at UT. Say goodbye to the traditional burnt orange and white, and say hello to the new and improved UT shuttles. UT Parking and Transportation Services and Capital Metro are modernizing the 18-year-old shuttles to look like city-style buses.
If they have shuttles that look and feel like a regular city shuttle, then they can kind of move them around the entire fleet. Instead of using orange and white shuttles, nobody will really be able to tell the difference because all of the shuttles have this uniform look now.
Unlike the old UT shuttles, some of the updated features include UT students, faculty, and staff having to swipe their IDs. Now, although this change helps keep an accurate count of how many people ride the bus, some students think changes like these should be reconsidered.
My concern is that it's going to take longer to get to school because, you know, there's going to be like 50 people trying to swipe their ID at the same time.
Despite the concern, Gomez says these changes hope to be an added benefit to students.
All of these new buses are going to have cameras on the outside that are going to be recording as well in case there's an incident.
Changes that some students appreciate.
This is definitely an improvement. If they're doing it for security reasons, like the cameras and the swiping of the cards, then I think that is for the best, because I know that people want to feel like they can get home safely.
The old UT shuttles will be around until January 2017. That's when the blue shuttles will be the only choice to commute on the 40 acres. Shifting populations have caused irregular enrollment in Austin area schools. Austin ISD continues to lose thousands of students and is expected to lose 6,000 more in the next decade. At the same time, some Austin schools are dealing with overcrowding. Schools now have portable classrooms and shorter lunch and gym times. There will now be no new schools built in Austin until voters approve another bond funding. In 2013, voters approved 2 bonds for new equipment, voted down another for more schools and programs. The next bond election is expected to take place in the summer of 2017.
Fitness equipment rater FitRated found that gym equipment has higher levels of bacteria than a toilet seat or a water faucet. FitRated analyzed 27 types of gym equipment at 3 different gym locations. The researcher found that the rate of bacteria was so high that people put themselves at risk of illness and infection every time they used a public fitness facility. FitRated advises people to protect themselves by disinfecting all machines and equipment before using them, never walking around barefoot at a gym, and to always wash your hands and remove your workout clothing after you're done.
A $60 million condominium will be built without parking spots for cars. The avenue will be located in downtown Austin on 8th and Congress with 135 apartments. The car-free complex will have no parking garages or other parking spaces available to tenants. Their goal is to encourage other forms of traveling such as biking, walking, or public transportation.
And I think it's definitely going to be more hectic for people to get around on time now that parking spaces are a really big concern.
I agree, especially with the inclement weather we've been experiencing today.
And our Romina Leon is in the studio with more on the weather for next week. Is the rain going to last, Romina?
Welcome back to KVR News. The temperatures tonight are expected to drop to the 60s. There is a 70% chance
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News Tip Line, 475-8181.
Welcome back to KVR News. Tonight, the temperatures are expected to drop to the 60s. Overnight, there is a 70% chance of rain. For tomorrow, we will be expecting some rain and thunderstorms with a high of 78 degrees and a low of 67 degrees. For Wednesday, it is expected to be a bit warmer with a high of 80 degrees and a low of 66 degrees. However, do expect a 50% chance of rain and thunderstorms throughout the day. By Thursday, the rain and cloudy skies will still be around, so make sure to take an umbrella on your way out. During the day, there is a 50% chance of rain, mostly cloudy skies with a high near 79 degrees and a low of 61. By Friday, we are finally in the clear and have no chance of rain. We will have mostly sunny skies with a high of 80 degrees and a low of 62. However, it looks like the rain might be making a comeback for the weekend. For Saturday and Sunday, we have a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms with mostly cloudy skies. We are still under flash flood watch until tomorrow at 10 a.m. Make sure to keep out for updates. Stay safe as you navigate the flooded roads and stay dry. Live in the Weather Center, KVR News.
Thank you, Romina.
College Press Box's Katarina Biancardi will be in the studio to talk Longhorn sports after the break. Stay tuned.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm College Press Box's Katarina Biancardi. The Longhorn football team previewed the fall season and the orange and white scrimmage this weekend. Let's check out the highlights from DKR. This big question is who will be lining up under center. Texas is still searching for its starting quarterback. Showcase between the talent of senior Tyrone Swoops and freshman Shane Buechele. Deonta Foreman opens the game with a 28-yard run. Look at him go, folks. And now you see Buechele complete one of his first passes to Armonte Foreman, and you may see this new dynamic duo on the 40 acres. Buechele hits Armonte on the sideline, but Holden Hill is flagged for pass interference, and Coach Strong is not too happy about that one. And on a 27-yard pass, Buechele connects with who? You guess again, you're right, it is Armonte Foreman. Texas is now leading the game 7-0. And now we'll see running back Chris Warren rushed his way all the way into the end zone for a 51-yard rushing touchdown. The game is now tied 7-7 at the end of the first. And Chris Warren, he's not finished yet as he sets us up his buddy Deonta Foreman for a 5-yard run, and this game will be surely called quickly as the rain is starting to pour. Texas will lead the game 14-7. And there is nothing but smiles on the 40 acres as Coach Strong and Pona Ford dab up at the end of the game. And now we'll see College Press's very own Reese Miller have more on the story.
Over the past 5 seasons, the Texas Spring Game has turned into the annual quarterback competition game. This year, it was true freshman Shane Buechele that once again provided the Longhorns with hope.
The day he stepped on his campus, he has been a guy that you know he's going to be relaxed, he's going to be patient. Nothing is really going to fluster him.
We've seen that all spring, you know, and he's a guy that goes out there and work hard every day. So, you know, it was expected, really.
You know, he's been diligent about all his work, just the way he's processed it, understands it. He's a guy that's savvy about football, you know, and he understands what we're doing and what we're trying to get accomplished.
It took all of one very rainy half of glorified spring football practice for most Texas fans to decide Shane Buechele should be the starting quarterback in the fall. However, the coaching staff says this is a competition that carries through the summer, and no matter who wins the job, the new high-paced Sterling Gilbert offense will be just fine.
We're going to have us a quarterback that's going to be very effective and going to be able to move this ball up and down the field for us.
Both of those guys have done well, and I think both of those guys have made each other better. There's still growth with all those guys, and we'll just go continue to evaluate and watch.
Where Gerard Hurd, who led Texas with 10 starts last year, stands in the race isn't clear. What is clear is that before the season starts, Strong wants a clear winner.
When we make that decision, it won't be a tie. It'll be a guy who's just clearly stepped out and said, hey, boom, that's the guy let's go with him and let's go play.
Texas plays Notre Dame to begin the season September 4th. Reese Miller, College Press Box.
And the big question here, folks, is who will be lining up under center? And we'll find out in the season opener against Notre Dame.
All right, well, thank you, Katarina, for joining us. And now our Allie Triolo has our entertainment news. Allie, what's going on in the celebrity world?
We'll all have deets on how to get on a show with Matthew McConaughey and how The Jungle Book took over the box office. Also, your fave celebs and their cute new babies. Stay tuned.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
A new ABC game show is looking for Matthew McConaughey's 3 biggest fans. The show is called Big Fan and will be hosted by Andy Richer. The show will feature celebrities and 3 of their biggest fans who know more about them than they do. And you can apply to be on the show if you go to bigfan.castingcrane.com. And Disney's reinvented The Jungle Book brought in a heaping $103.6 million at the box office this weekend. Usually, animated films don't do as well as their live counterparts, but Disney used some strategic marketing to make sure their animated hit smashed at the box office. Fans helped spread the word about the film because of movie sneak peeks at a Disney convention and ads showing the film's high-tech production. And lastly, the time for welcoming new little ones into the world is prominently upon us. Model Chrissy Teigen and singer John Legend welcomed their baby girl Luna Simone this weekend. Kelly Clarkson and husband Brandon Blackstone welcomed their baby boy too. His name is Remington Alexander Blackstone. And in more baby news, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively and also Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes announced that they are expecting. Woo! Congratulations and blessings to all. Well, that's all for your entertainment updates, but be sure to follow us on Twitter at KVR News ENT.
Thanks, Allie, and thank you for tuning in.
For news and weather updates throughout the week, you can follow us on Twitter at KVR News. I'm Viviana Castaneda.
And I'm Ashley Tsao. Stay tuned for College Press Box up next. Thank you for watching.